Thank you. I remind members that if the amendment in the name of Liam Kerr is agreed to, the amendment in the name of Martin Whitfield will fall. And the question is that Amendment 15423.2 in the name of Liam Kerr, which seeks to amend Motion 15423 in the name of Jamie Hepburn on behalf of the Parliamentary Bureau setting out a business programme, be agreed, and members should cast their votes now. The vote is closed. I call Neil Bibby for a point of order.
I would have voted yes, Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Mr Bibby. We'll ensure that is recorded. The result of the vote on amendment number 15423.2 in the name of Liam Kerr is yes 48, no 70. There were no abstentions. The amendment is therefore not agreed. And the next question, therefore, is that amendment 15423.1 in the name of Martin Whitfield, which seeks to amend motion 15423 in the name of Jamie Hepburn on behalf of the Parliamentary Bureau setting out a business programme, be agreed. Are we all agreed? Yes. The Parliament is not agreed, therefore it will move to a vote and members should cast their votes now. The vote is closed. The result of the vote on amendment number 15423.1 in the name of Martin Whitfield is yes 51, no 67. There were no abstentions. The amendment is therefore not agreed. The next question is that motion 15423 in the name of Jamie Hepburn on behalf of the Parliamentary Bureau setting out a business programme be agreed. Are we all agreed? Yes. The Parliament is not agreed, therefore we'll move to a vote and members should cast their votes now. The vote is closed. The result of the vote on motion 15423 in the name of Jamie Hepburn is yes 68, no 51. There were no abstentions. The motion is therefore agreed. The next item of business is consideration of business motion 15424 in the name of Jamie Hepburn on behalf of the Parliamentary Bureau on a stage 2 timetable for a bill. Any member who wishes to speak to the motion should press their request to speak button now. And I call on the Minister to move the motion.
Move, Presiding Officer.
Thank you. No member has asked to speak to the motion. Therefore, the question is that motion 15424 be agreed. Are we all agreed? Yes. The motion is therefore agreed. The next item of business is consideration of Parliamentary Bureau Motion 15425 on approval of an SSI, and I ask Jamie Hepburn, on behalf of the Parliamentary Bureau, to move the motion.
Move, Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Minister. And I now call on Jeremy Balfour. Up to 3 minutes, please.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Politicians have a duty to think about the consequences of the decisions that we make, both intended and unintended. The decision made by the Labour government down south will directly be responsible for thousands of pensioners going cold this year. The cut of winter heater payment with no meaningful consultation, and clearly they have not thought through the devastating consequences. It is equally unfortunate that this Scottish Government has also decided that they are uninterested in supporting vulnerable pensioners. Of course, can I just finish this point? Of course, they will throw up their hands and say it's not their fault, they don't have the money. But that is pretty hard.
Let's hear Mr Balfour.
But that is a pretty hard pill to swallow after years of wasting hundreds of millions of pounds on a variety of disastrous projects, not least 2 ferries that islanders are still waiting for. Mr Mason.
John Mason.
I thank the member for giving way, and I suspect that he has wasted money over the years, as we all probably have to some extent. But we are where we are, and we do not have the money right now. Effectively, if we borrowed it to pay this winter, we would have to pay it back next year, and that would make things even worse.
Jeremy Balfour.
Well, I think that is very cold comfort for the vulnerable pensioners who are being discriminated against today. Look at so many projects that haven't even happened in the past, but this government still continue with today. If he paused those, the money would be available. Presiding Officer, we on this bench will abstain from this vote because we want to ensure that even more people don't miss out on the payment. But I want to make it clear that we stand totally opposed to both governments turning their backs on pensioners, many of whom will be forced to choose between eating and heating this winter. We believe that it is the duty of government to support the most vulnerable, not punish them. That is what this party is about. It is a shame others on the other side of the chamber.
Let's hear Mr Balfour. Thank you, Mr Balfour. I now call on Shirley Ann Somerville to respond. Up to 3 minutes, Cabinet Secretary.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. I'm grateful for the opportunity to discuss the draft regulations today. These regulations will introduce our 16th Scottish Benefit Pension Age Winter Heating Payment. Mirroring the UK Government's winter fuel payment, our Pension Age Winter Heating Payment will provide targeted support to those of pension age in receipt of relevant benefits in Scotland. We have faced significant challenges to get to this point. As the Chamber well knows, on the 29th of July, the UK Government announced its decision to restrict entitlement to winter fuel payment to those in receipt of pension credit and other means-tested benefits from this winter. The Chancellor's decision was taken without notice and will reduce this year's block grant adjustment funding by £147 million, over 80% of the cost of our previously proposed universal payment. We have repeatedly urged the UK Government to reverse this decision, and indeed the Parliament has supported us in doing so, but our representations have not been made with success, and given the budgetary implications of such a significant reduction in funding from the UK Government, we have taken the difficult decision to mirror this approach in our pension age winter heating payment, and I'll give way to Maggie Chapman.
Maggie Chapman.
I thank the Cabinet Secretary for taking my intervention. I would like to make it clear that we do not support the means testing of the winter fuel payment. And we know that fuel poverty is very high among older people, especially in some pockets across the country. Can I ask the Cabinet Secretary to outline what actions she will be taking to address this specifically, given that we can't rely on the fuel insecurity payment this year because it no longer exists?
Cabinet Secretary.
I think Maggie Chapman raises a very important point, Presiding Officer, and I can assure her that discussions are ongoing about what we can do in this situation. But once again, this Scottish Government is now having discussions about how to mitigate against a UK Government, but this time it's a Labour Government rather than a Tory Government, Presiding Officer. Payments of our proposed new benefit will be delivered by the DWP under an agency agreement with Scottish ministers this winter. This approach seeks to ensure that eligible individuals in Scotland can continue to receive support over the winter. Given the timing of the UK announcement, it was not possible for Social Security Scotland to be able to deliver this year. The Scottish Government acknowledges that there are other pensioners who are likely to face financial difficulty and who would benefit from this support. We will continue to call on the UK Government to reverse their decision to means test winter fuel payments and reinstate the payment for all pensioners in future years, and I am committed to keeping the eligibility and scope of pension age winter heating payment under review going forward. And I'll give way to Christine Graham.
Thank you, Cabinet Secretary. Is there not abject hypocrisy from the Conservatives, after decades in power, failing to provide pensioners with a decent state pension, requiring them to rely on pension credit, knowing that 40% don't claim it, with 26 pages to read before they can even get to the end of it?
Cabinet Secretary.
I think the member raises a very important point, and at that stage I'm very happy to give way to Jackson Carlaw.
Jackson Carlaw.
I'm grateful to the Cabinet. I'm genuinely intrigued. The SNP made a commitment that it would pay the winter fuel allowance. It didn't say we will pay the winter fuel allowance conditional on receiving support from Westminster. If their argument now is that that commitment was only ever contingent on support from Westminster, then the commitment was hollow all along. You cannot, as a government, say and make a commitment and then say, well, actually, the commitment was worthless unless we were given the money by somebody else.
Cabinet Secretary, and in conclusion.
I have to say I'm genuinely surprised by someone who I have a great deal of respect for, like Jackson Carlaw, to come across with something which only represents something according to Liz Truss economics, where you can spend the money even if you don't have it, Presiding Officer. It's genuinely astounding. Presiding Officer, the provisions laid out in these regulations are not what I had anticipated we would be delivering, and it's not what I want to be in front of Parliament to talk about today. But they will help ensure vital support is available to eligible pensioners with their fuel bills this winter. To be clear, Presiding Officer, without these regulations, there will be no legal framework to make any payment this winter to support pensioners in Scotland. It is a duty of Parliament Parliament, Jeremy Balfour, not to take a
Cabinet Secretary is
position to
concluding.
deal with the politics and political posturing, but to ensure that pensioners get the entitlement that they have. We may wish to do more, Presiding Officer, but if the Tories abstain, they are abstaining on supporting pensioners this winter.
Thank you. The question on this motion will be put at decision time. The next item of business is consideration of 4 Parliamentary Bureau motions, and I ask Jamie Hepburn on behalf of the Parliamentary Bureau to move motions 15426 to 15428 on approval of SSIs and 15429 on committee membership.
Move, Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Minister. The question on these motions will be put at decision time, and there are 9 questions to be put as a result of today's business. And the first is that Amendment 15400.2 in the name of Marie Goujon, which seeks to amend Motion 15400 in the name of Tim Eagle on reversing the family farm tax, be agreed. Are we all agreed? Yes. The Parliament is not agreed, therefore it will move to a vote, and members should cast their votes now. The vote is closed. The result of the vote on amendment number 15400.2 in the name of Marie Goujon is yes 93, no 26. There were no abstentions. The amendment is therefore agreed. The next question is that amendment 15400.1 in the name of Rhoda Grant, which seeks to amend motion 15400 in the name of Tim Eagle on reversing the family farm tax, be agreed. Are we all agreed? No. The Parliament is not agreed, therefore we'll move to a vote, and members should cast their votes now. The vote is closed. The result of the vote on amendment number 15400.1 in the name of Rhoda Grant is yes 19, no 100. There were no abstentions. The amendment is therefore not agreed. The next question is that motion 15400 in the name of Tim Eagle, as amended, on reversing the family farm tax be agreed. Are we all agreed? The Parliament is not agreed, therefore we will move to a vote and members should cast their votes now. The vote is closed. I call Sharon Dowie for a point of order.
I would have voted yes.
Thank you, Ms Dowie. We'll ensure that's recorded.
Use your settings link and
the result of the vote on motion 15400 in the name of Tim Eagle, as amended, is yes 93, no 26. There were no abstentions. The motion as amended is therefore agreed. Now, I remind members that if the amendment in the name of Shirley Ann Somerville is agreed to, then the amendments in the name of Mark Griffin and Maggie Chapman will fall. And the next question is that amendment 15401.3 in the name of Shirley Ann Somerville, which seeks to amend motion 15401 in the name of Megan Gallagher on Scotland's housing emergency, be agreed. Are we all agreed? Yes. The Parliament is not agreed, therefore we'll move to a vote and members should cast their votes now. The vote is closed. The result of the vote on amendment number 15401.3 in the name of Shirley Ann Somerville is yes 60, no 57. There was one abstention. The amendment is therefore agreed. The next question is that amendment 15401.2 in the name of Mark Griffin, which seeks to amend motion 1... Oh. My apologies, colleagues. Given that the amendment in the name of Shirley Ann Somerville has been agreed to, then the amendment in the name of Mark Griffin has fallen. And that is the case also with the amendment in the name of Maggie Chapman. And the next question is that motion 15401 in the name of Megan Gallagher as amended on Scotland's housing emergency be agreed. Are we all agreed? Yes. The Parliament is not agreed, therefore we'll move to a vote and members should cast their votes now. The vote is closed. The result of the vote on motion 15401 in the name of Megan Gallagher as amended is yes 66, no 52. There was one abstention. The motion as amended is therefore agreed. And the next question is that motion 15425 in the name of Jamie Hepburn on behalf of the Parliamentary Bureau on approval of an SSI be agreed. Are we all agreed? The Parliament is not agreed, therefore we'll move to a vote and members should cast their votes now. The vote is closed. I call Jenny Minto for a point of order.
Connection. I would have voted yes.
I will ensure that is recorded, Ms Minto. The result of the vote on motion 15425 in the name of Jamie Hepburn is yes 61. There were no votes against. There were 57 abstentions. The motion is therefore agreed. 15425. And I propose to ask a single question on 4 Parliamentary Bureau motions. Does any member object? The question is that motions 15426 to 15428 on approval of SSIs and 15429 on committee membership in the name of Jamie Hepburn on behalf of Parliamentary Bureau be agreed. Are we all agreed? Yes. The motions are therefore agreed, and that concludes decision time. And we'll now move on to members' business in the name of Douglas Lumsden.